this new generation of women so much is because we're finally starting to realize how powerful we are and how much potential we really have in this world. And the only reason we're starting to figure that out is because we finally don't give a fuck what they think. Because all they've been doing for I don't know how long is suppressing us.
We took a little quick break. And in that break, some very interesting things came up. Real feelings came out, and we really want to talk about that. We want to get into what the young sister was saying about how women are finally waking up and realizing what the power is, and men are upset and angry, and men have been suppressing women.
Not suppressing.
Suppressing women. So we're going to get into that. But before we get into that, Dream Queen has a beef with man boys. She got a beef with man boys.
As all women should have a beef with man boys.
She got a beef with man boys. Now, family, before when I asked the question before, it was the politically correct answer.
He is shady.
He's so shady.
It was the politically correct answer. Dream Queen got on the podium and said, I should never lay my hands on a man. We should never do that. Kumbaya, kumbaya, kumbaya. But on break, Dream Queen said,
you know what? Remind me not to do nothing around.
She said, if you're acting like a child, I may have to smack you around.
No. That is not what.
So could you please, for the fellas, for the young brother who may have been smacked around, explain to him why he may have been smacked around and when it's okay for a woman to smack a man around.
It's not okay for a woman to smack a man around. But young man, boy, sir, I have a small, just little tidbit for you. Maybe you should not be in a relationship with someone if you're not, totally an alpha male. You're not in charge of your own person, your own self. You don't have your own situation on lock. Because when you get with someone who has their own everything, and that becomes the issue, then it becomes an issue to you because you don't have that.
Right.
So then you may feel some type of way, and you may want to put your hands on some, you know what I'm saying? Because you feel like, oh, I'm not respected, but man, boy, sir.
Man, boy, sir.
Because you are a man, boy, sir. That's what we're calling them, because man, boy, sirs don't have what men have. So just step back. Don't involve yourself in a situation like that. Reevaluate yourself and go hang around some powerful men.
Right.
Go hang around some men, period.
Right.
Because yeah,
I agree. And man boys, the reason why I said that term is because a man boy is someone who's grown in age but not in maturity.
Right.
So you don't have, when you look at children don't know how to process their feelings or emotions. They don't know how to communicate effectively. And so that to me is a man boy. If you don't know how to sit down and have a conversation, if you don't know how to express your thoughts, if you don't know how to go out and make it happen, and you're waiting on somebody to bring it to you, or give it to you, you are a man boy.
Yes.
You have grown, by leaps and bounds in age, but you have not grown in maturity. You are a man boy.
Right.
If you are sitting on somebody's couch and eating their food and you're not contributing, my favorite phrase is slow feet don't eat.
Okay.
So if you laying at home, we have two grown sons, and one is out on his own, the other one is in college, and you have to work, you have to go to school, you have to do something to contribute. You can't just be at home. Nobody wants somebody that nobody else wants.
Period.
So you have to bring something to the table.
Oh, okay.
Man, boy, if you're listening.
Man, boy.
Okay, all right. So does a man boy deserve to be slapped?
No, he does not. No, he does not.
He does not.
But in scenarios, as the young lady was saying, we were talking about her generation. She's in her 20s. We're all, above, 30 and above in here, even older. But in that age range, I can see where that may be popular in their time. As you get older, you be like, nah, we're not doing that. Like, we've grown. Like, we talk now. We express our feelings today. Like, don't put your hands on me, okay?
Right.
So I feel like because she's younger, You know, but maybe because he's young, I don't know his age, but I feel like with age comes wisdom.
Right. Absolutely.
So, you know, because she said her generation.
Right.
So, and she is young, so we want to take that in consideration too.
Okay. All right. So now we can jump into her. I just wanted to make sure
He
because
make me so sick.
because on the break there was a man boy who
Was being slapped around.
I had a flashback.
who received quite
Babe, I had a
quite
project
the roughing
flashback.
up. He received quite the beating from Dream Queen. So we wanted her to be able to elaborate further. And as you see, we're going to get the clip on for you. As a matter of fact, if you watch this show to the very end, I promise to put that clip of Dream Queen smacking.
Yeah.
Don't listen to him. He ain't got no clip.
We'll put it on the end of the
Nobody.
show. We'll put it on the end of the show for you. But all right, so hopping back into the young sister, right? I have a lot of issues with what this young sister said.
Okay, give it to us.
The first thing I want to know is, y'all know me. My question is, who the hell, what man has been suppressing her?
That's what I want to know. And why she felt the need to use suppression.
Yes.
Like, that hurt my heart. When she was like, suppress, I was like, wait a minute.
Like, we've been being suppressed.
Who suppressed me?
When did this happen?
Right, I'm trying to figure out.
And where was I?
Yes.
Right, when he suppressed me. Like,
What?
I'm 37 and I don't remember that.
I immediately thought about slavery when she said suppressed. I was like,
What men? Now, ladies, I'm gonna ask you. Now, from the Holocaust, and y'all know what I call the Holocaust, right? The great drug trade
yes.
of the 80s, right? From the Holocaust on, you know, from the time that I can really remember, women have run our community.
Yes.
Without a shadow of a doubt. Women have run our community. I mean, yes, I grew up, I'm thankful
Strong
that I was
black
able
women.
to see men be men. I'm thankful for my father. Shout out to him. You know, but I watched how a system done him as a man who wanted to see his kids and spend time with his kids. And, you know, basically when my mom was at work, he petitioned the judge to say, hey, when she's at work, can the kids spend more time with me? Just sit down. You did? So even in the courts, women ran the community. Okay? So for as long as I can remember, women have run the community in our community. So my question is what men have been suppressing or oppressing women?
I feel like her wording, because she's young,
Baby.
I feel like her choice of words were different. I don't maybe think she meant suppressed. I maybe like held back, or, you know, or not even held back, but
Yeah, like talked.
and again,
to
she's young,
or
and who knows her
it.
relationship history. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When people make these videos, you have to take into account their lifestyle.
Right.
You have to take into account what they've been through.
Right.
Because I feel like she was showing her emotions or what she's been through, or how somebody suppressed her. Ain't nobody suppressed me. So maybe the wording should have been a little different, because I just don't agree with the suppressed part.
Right.
And my takeaway from it is again, she's talking about her generation.
Right.
So let's definitely understand that she's talking about a different generation than we have been grown into or seen. But at the same time, I feel as though I likened it to white supremacy, you know, and how they narrate our black story. You know, if you turn on any TV station today, all you see is we're this, we're that, we're gangsters, we're thugs, you know, BITCH, like the young man said, we're just ratchet. And that's not what us as black women are. I know the three sitting here, I know personally, damn sure enough ain't ratchet, loudmouth, ignorant black women that, you know, kind of what he was going off of, you know, when you liken it to the term bitches and all that, you kind of put everybody in a box. You know, he said women and you put it into a box, just like she did. She put all men into a box when she said they're suppressing us. Again, like Dream King said, I ain't never been suppressed. I don't know where she got every woman's been suppressed. But I do understand, like I said, when you know, like I said, when white supremacy narrates our story, I felt like she meant that more so society has narrated our story as women, they make us, you know, you can't say certain things, you can't conduct yourself in a certain way, you can't wear certain things, or you're this, or
Right.
you're that, or you look this way, or you're ratchet, or you're this. And not everybody is that. Not everybody is the same. Not every woman conducts herself the same. Not every woman, but at the same time, that doesn't make them lesser or more than the next one. So I think when she was talking, I think more so it was like Dream Queen said, the way she worded a lot of things, and the fact that, like Mama said, or Shantae said, that when you make a broad statement like that, you kind of put yourself into a box, and you kind of made it seem like everybody is this way, and that's not true.
No, ma'am. I'm sorry. Once again, what she said was men.
Baby, who
She
finna correct her?
the key word that this young lady used was men. You just gave a whole dissertation on systemic
Because society
suppression or
is
oppression.
where-
I dig it, but
that's not what she
say
said.
what the sister said was wrong.
Look, I can't
Say
say
it.
because unfortunately the sister wasn't talking about me. I can't relate.
Yes, she did. She said women.
She wasn't talking about me.
She was talking for you. She said women have woke up. So
She
you
spoke for me because she's 12.
I'm
Okay.
you have woken up from a slumber
She
because
said her generation.
because
Y'all gotta go back. Come
because
on.
you have
her
been-
generation. I'm over her generation.
you've been
I'm
suppressed.
10 times over her.
But what I hear you saying, and honestly, it's what I may agree with, is that there's a systemic suppression,
There is.
a systemic muting of the voices of men and women, right? But understand,
truth.
black men, we didn't create that system.
No.
Okay, so the problem I got with the young sister is she said men.
Yeah.
Be very clear when you make statements like that.
Right, because she going to have to marry a man one day.
Hopefully.
Well, hopefully.
Hopefully.
We hope.
Yeah, hopefully. But be very clear, because as a black man, I take offense to that.
I took offense, and I'm not a black man.
Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So I'm
engaged to one.
there it is. Then stand up for him.
I will.
But no, I mean, as a black man, I take offense to it. First, let me say that I love what black women are doing. I think it's dynamic, and I think that what black women are achieving is imperative if we're going to change the narrative as black people.
Right.
Because for years we tried to do it like the oppressor showed us to do it. That's not for us. Right? Because
Gotta
we're
find
giving
our own way.
crumbs. Right. Since they give us crumbs, we have to do things a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? And the women in our household need to truly be teammates.
Right.
Right? Not somebody to be dominated.
Right.
But they truly need to be teammates. And I think that's how my wife and I have been able to achieve the level of success that we achieved, and the things that we want to continue to achieve. It will be as a tandem, as a team, as opposed to a dictatorship
Right. I rule
That
over
part.
her, you know,
Right.
type
Right.
situation.
Right.
in the home. So I think the young sister, she twisted it up a little bit, and she made me upset when she said men, because at the end of the day, there is absolutely positively no way that I'm trying to mute the voice and the light
Why would you?
Right.
of
especially
my
a black
wife,
woman.
my daughters, my sisters,
Finna meet
my
me.
mother. There's no way that I'm trying to do that, right? And the
Right.
brothers that I run with, they're not trying to do that.
If
No-
anything, you're trying to hear from us. You want to hear
Right.
what we got to say.
Right.
Exactly. If you want to be successful.
Right. Of
Right.
course.
And nor did we create the system, as Shantae spoke about earlier, nor did we create the system that creates that particular oppression in the workplace.
Right.
Right.
The white man did.
Or as Ashley said, the system that dictates how a black woman is seen and how a black woman should be heard.
Right.
That's not a system that we created. So what we're trying to do with this season is we're trying to get black men and black women to love each other and see each other the way that, you know, we should see each other. And when you make inflammatory statements like men, that ticked the young brother off. So what the young sister should have said is systematically
There you
women
go.
have been suppressed, right? And understand that the young brother had nothing to do with women's suppression, right?
But that's social media today. Like people can hop on social media, express themselves, not be specific, not have facts, just, you know, say what they say and be 12. I want to iterate that, be 12. And not have, you know, been through so much, you know, not have seen so much, or maybe not have been in a healthy or unhealthy relationship or whatever she have gone through, like,
or he,
because he was a little, you know, too. But I feel like she has to take into account of all that. Like, eventually, ma'am, you're going to want to marry a man. So, you know, choose your wording wisely. And whenever we get these videos, you know, like you sent me the whole video. And then on that, when I seen his video, it was just a snippet.
Right.
So it's just like, you know, when you get on and rant like that, you just have to be mindful of what you're saying and, you know, who's going to hear it. Because there's some little girl out there saying, oh, I don't need no man. You know what I'm saying? You done forever swayed her. Persuasion, you know what I'm saying? So, and we're trying to bring black people together, and you know, I feel like you're doing the opposite, kind of tearing us apart.
Yeah, we work better when we come together as a unit.
Yes, we do.
Even if it's not, I'll even break it down as to not just in a male-female relationship, just as a unit, as a black whole. If we all took the time to understand each other, communicate effectively and correctly, we could be eons over where we're at right now. Like. We could have surpassed all human race. But instead, we have these kind of dialogues that kind of tear us apart, whereas though, you know, our age, race, gender, however it may look, but it all kind of pulls us apart. And unfortunately, the way she worded her statement kind of made it where at the end of the day, not most people wanted to hear what she had to say, because you put suppression, you put that we didn't took our power back. I mean,
I always had mine.
I never lost it. I mean, I might have let it go a little bit too far, where I lost myself a little bit, but I brought it back. You know what I mean? But at the same time, she made it such a broad stroke, just like him. You know what I mean? Whatever he had gone through in his life, he made it again about a broad stroke of women that are not like that. So, you know, like Dream Queen said, you have to kind of take into account what you're saying when you're on these social media. You're ramping and raving, and you don't have no facts, and you have no validity behind what you're saying, and you make everybody look. You know what I mean? There's little girls and stuff out here that watch TikTok all day
that are
long.
watching this.
I mean, my kids watch it on a regular.
Right.
I got a little TikTok groupie, like this little girl. She does all the TikToks, looks at all the TikToks, can recite everything back to you. So I mean, just as raising 4 young black women, I don't necessarily want her to come across your video and think that, oh, I can do this all by myself.
Girl, don't be suppressed by no black man.
Because God sure enough didn't put us on here on this earth to be one entity. I believe me, I'm a single mother, and believe me, I have a hard time on a regular basis trying to get through a day, but I get through it. I do it. But best believe I don't mind having a counterpart come and, babe, let's do this, let's do that,
right.
Back,
and you don't feel suppressed at all, do you?
Feel suppressed at
all. Feel rather free, don't you?
I feel rather good about it. Like, oh yes, thank you. I needed that.
Suppression well.
I heard you, and I will do. You know what I mean? So it's just about, you know what I mean, proper communication and understanding what nuggets you can take, what you can't, and how you word your opinion.
I agree with the last part you just said. I think when you put stuff out there on social media, it's for the viewer to it's you're leaving it up to the viewer's interpretation, right? Because there were some things that she said that I did agree with, but like I said, coming from corporate America, I have been in situations where, you know, on the other side of the table, there was a white man telling me, I'm gonna let you have the rest of the day because I know you're gonna be bitter and angry behind this, you know, decision. Absolutely. Ooh. So when she said that, I did feel powerless. I did feel like, oh, okay, you know, like, what am I supposed to do, or what am I to do with this? So there's some things. I think it's all up to interpretation. I think it was a reckless statement, live conversation regardless. But I think that when you are putting things out into the atmosphere of the world of social media, you're leaving it to the interpretation of the person that's hearing it, because it meant something different for me. It meant something different for you. It meant something different for each one of us in the room. And so again, I do think she had universal flaws with the, we've been suppressed, and and all men, and you know, just all these generalities. I think that were wrong, but I do think, I'm not gonna say the whole video was just a negative. No, it was negative undertones. But I'm not gonna say that her whole video, everything she said was false.
Right.
Of course, yeah.
Right. She has some validity to it.
Yeah, a little bit.
So there's social responsibility.
Correct.
And I think that as black people, we need to start assuming social responsibility simply because of the way that we're depicted on a regular basis.
Especially
right?
as black people.
As black people.
Exactly.
So be careful with the words that we are saying on social media. I think that that's very important. And I'm going to give you an example of the power of words and expectation. So my sister hung out with us for Mother's Day, and she turned me on to a book. And as I began to read the book, there's an example in the book of a teacher who's teaching students who have blue eyes and who have brown eyes.
Oh, I heard this story.
Okay. And essentially, the day before this conversation, the children were equals. The children read the same, thought the same. They were all academically equal and academically sound. But today, the teacher decided to tell the students how this world sees blue-eyed children and how this world sees brown-eyed children. This world sees brown-eyed children as less than. Blue-eyed children, they expect more from. They're better than. Scientific fact, this teacher spoke about what began to happen in her classroom thereafter. How the brown-eyed children began to underperform because she simply told them how the world sees them.
That's crazy.
Right? So that's an example of the power in words.
Yes.
And that's the example of what we believe in regard to words. So let's be careful saying that men aren't shit.
Yes.
Right? Let's be careful calling black women bitches and hoes.
Don't call us
Right?
dead.
Because for whatever reason, the human psyche seeks to live up to those expectations.
Right.
So if you wonder why the man next to you ain't shit, maybe you said it one time too many. Right? So let's start uplifting each other.
Right.
With the words
Speak
that
life
that
with
we're
your
saying.
words.
Exactly.
So there is social responsibility, and no matter what your age is, I think that you need to begin to use that on social media.
Yes.
Right.
Most definitely.
So, hey, great show tonight. I thank everybody for riding with us tonight. I think we had fun. I think we spoke about a little bit of the anger between black men and black women, and I think it's very important that if black men and black women are going to bring things together and marry, which is very important, not only marry and stay married and begin to build wealth and health and all of those different things. I think it's important that we have this forum, and I think it's important that we have these discussions and conversations. So, hey, we thank y'all for coming out. We thank y'all for listening. For those who listen to the end, I hope that was a nugget for you in the words that we speak and our perceptions. And once again, thank you guys for coming out. And hey, stay tuned for the next show. It's going to be a hot one. We out.
All right.
Peace
Bye.
out.
All right.
Is that your married couple?
That's the married couple.